Like in California every day, Los Angeles City Controller Wendy Gruhl says that city will end up running out of cash by May the 5th. That's, what, 23 days from now. And she joins the company right now. Wendy Gruhl, ladies and gentlemen. Ma'am, thank you very much for joining us. I just want to make sure that we've got the numbers right, that if you don't get some input, find some new money or get some give-backs from one of the parties involved in this, L.A., the nation's second largest city, you're out of money. 23 days. Is that correct?
Well, what I indicated is we would run out of cash in our general fund. I've asked the mayor and council to take money from our reserve fund to meet our obligations in May. And something that we have not done historically is taking this amount of money to be able to pay our bills in May.
Now, several people on this program in the last couple of weeks have said, look, LA really faces bankruptcy because you're almost impossible to put your financial house in order without an outside authority, a bankruptcy court judge, coming in and saying, you get this, you get that. You're pretty close to this, aren't you?
Well, I think it's a cop-out to suggest that bankruptcy is an option. The judge would tell us to do the same things that the mayor and council could do today, which is to cut our expenses, to downsize government, and to focus on the most important parts of government, which is public safety, public works, and economic development.
But you cannot, only a bankruptcy court judge could fix your pension problem. And one of the biggest problems for Los Angeles is these lavish pensions paid to retired city workers. Only a bankruptcy court judge can do that.
Well, I think also, though, you can bring the unions to the table to try and negotiate and look at the pension system going forward. But you're accurate in the fact that we have a looming pension challenge going forward. In fact, I think it's 2014, potentially half of our general fund would be on pensions. So I think that we're going to have to reduce some of our liabilities and cut some of our costs to be able to make our budget.
Does anybody on the city council have the political courage to go up and say, hey, those pensions, we're not paying them?
Well, I believe, and I've encouraged them, the council, and we have a chair of a budget committee and others who I think are putting that on the table. My point has been throughout this last year is the longer you wait to address a crisis, a financial crisis, the harder it's going to be, the more draconian cuts are going to have to be. And so this last week I indicated that by April 19th we needed to move money into our general fund to be able to pay those bills, and at this point in time we potentially could only have about $38 million on our reserve fund by the end of the fiscal year. That's not enough, I believe, to handle emergencies.
But bankruptcy is the big stick, isn't it? I mean, you have to say to them, look, if you don't do this voluntarily, now we're going bankrupt. That's the situation, isn't it?
Well, my point has always been, you know, I'm about the facts, and that's what I've been telling the mayor and council for the last 9 months I've been the city controller, which is we have to be able to balance our books. You're spending more than we have in our accounts, and next year does not look a lot better. So we're looking at a variety of ways, whether it is reducing the workforce or also looking at our services.
Okay, we appreciate being with us. Ms. Gruhl, please come back and see us again as we approach this deadline. And let's see if bankruptcy is at any point put on the table. We appreciate you being with us, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.